take a cool down break because my iPhone just heated up so much in this heat out here. It's not summertime anymore, but it looks like it's 80 degrees. But we got the sun out here. Okay, so we were talking about, you like the fact that you got over there and you were able to...
Imagine a line. I can imagine a lot of things here, but yeah, I mean, that would be the first thing I would hit. If I was here, it's my first day, my hip is 100%, I would hit this hip. First thing, I was like, man, it looks really fun, a good size where it could be perfect for a beginner, and then a pro can get the same amount of fun on that.
All right, what would be the difference of me hitting that as a beginner versus a pro hitting that?
Because a ramp like that, you can hit it, you have the option of hitting it low, kind of like right, you see how like it has that corner top to it?
Yeah.
Someone who's experienced, they'll want to hit the corner to get the most height, but you can hit it low. So you can hit the same exact ramp depending on your level and hit it low to the right and kind of work your way up to the top, which is really nice.
All right, so if you're a pro, you hit the corner and you hit the top.
You hit the top, you go as fast as possible, and you hit the top and just try to go as high as possible.
Oh, you know what? That would be impressive to see. We'll have to see. Reminder to folks, the ribbon cutting is coming up this Saturday. The park is open right now. Do you need to bring out a leaf blower when you come out here? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the day. Right now, everybody's gonna have a leaf blower over here, but I keep one in the car just in case too. So
see, he's totally prepped. All right, so we're talking about jumping off here. Let's go towards the middle and let's talk about the other features that are built into here and what you like. So,
cool.
Do you visualize anything else coming off of it at that top there?
Yeah, I mean, this is gonna be my favorite for sure. But I liked how there's big quarter pipes at the end on each end of the skate park.
All right, what did you just call it?
Quarter pipe.
All right, and what exactly is that?
So it's these ramps that the name comes from. Imagine a pipe that it's a full round pipe, and that's to be quarter of it. So right there is a really good ramp to just go as fast as possible and get as much height as you can and land back in.
All right, when we were talking about as much height as you can, what are we talking about? Anywhere from what, a few inches to what?
I mean, it depends. Like obviously, if it's going to be your first day, I would always tell people to feel out the park. Sometimes the transition, the slope of the ramp will always be different than what you're familiar with. So you kind of hit it back and forth, work your way up, and then get comfortable, and then try to blast this thing and try to hit the moon.
All right, we were talking about etiquette earlier. Mm-hmm. If I'm out here, I'm new, am I watching other folks doing stuff, and do I even approach them, or do I try to figure out what kind of moves that they're doing, or what kind of discussions, or am I not having discussions, and am I just watching other skaters or just doing a better job or doing stuff that I wish I could do?
I mean, I'm from New York, so for me, I want to be friends with everyone. So if I get here and there's 20 people here, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to see who they are, what they're trying, get familiar, so we build a relationship. So if I see them again, we can kind of understand what we're all doing. So I mean, yeah, I'll go up to everybody and say, hey, what are you trying to do? Where are you trying to go? So that way I can learn where, okay, this guy's in the corner, he's going to be hitting this ramp for the next hour trying to learn something. I'm not going to, we're going to share the spot, but I'm also going to try to be respectful and give him his space so he can get that trick. So it's kind of that, like building the relationships, I think, with the people here are something that I've learned is actually super important to do, especially if you're coming here for the first time.
Okay. How much time, if someone comes out, how much time do they spend on average? Is it a few minutes, a couple hours, or does it depend?
It depends on how much devotion they got. I mean, if you'd ask me, I've spent, I don't know, weeks on one trick. It's been weeks.
But don't you have to go home when the lights go, when the street lights come on?
You're supposed to. I mean, I've missed a lot of dinners. I've been late to a lot of events just because I'm like, damn it, one more try, So there's been times where, but sometimes you believe the next try is going to be the one, and I think if you got it in you to try another one, you just keep going until someone tells you, all right, hurry up, get to dinner, one of those things. But
I was going to say, has your dad ever said, gosh, I wish I'd never bought John that scooter?
In the beginning, yes.
In the beginning.
Yeah, in the beginning, definitely. I mean, there's been days where I would be at this tennis court spot. There was no ramps, it was just a little tennis court on the curb, and I was just practicing tricks till 2, 4, there was one time 6 in the morning. It's pretty wild. I don't suggest that, but there was a time where I was trying something, I really thought I could do it, and I was like, I'm gonna go home, my Bluetooth speaker dies. And for some reason, this thing was just lasting all night, and then I actually didn't get the trick that night, but I got home, my dad's like, what the hell? Where were you? I was like, I was trying to get home soaked, sweating, my clothes are all dirty, but.
Can you tell us what trick that was that you were trying to work on?
Yeah, I mean, it was I don't know specifically, but it was some kind of nose manual trick, like a nose wheelie. So something. I think it was like a backwards nose wheelie combo or something. I forget. It's been a long time, but I love nose manuals, so it's probably that.
All right. So we talked about coming off of there, coming down,
Yeah, this
hitting
guy.
this. Depending on if you're a beginner or a expert, you're going to approach it differently.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the structure over there. What's that bring to the game?
I mean, I don't know what's the coincidence about my hip being hurt, and there's a lot of nice hips in the skate park, but there's another hip over there that looks really awesome. This one looks perfect for photos.
All right, wait. When you say hip, are we talking about that at the end, or are we talking about this thing in the middle?
The guy at the end.
Okay.
So that one. Anytime there's a hip, it's almost like two ramps that are on an angle. I don't know where the hip name came from, but that would be another really nice looking hip, especially from this angle. Imagine if someone's getting high above that railing and you have that nice photo of them. I mean, it just looks. I'm just imagining. I'm using my imagination.
Actually,
right now.
I was going to say, if you shoot this from down low.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool shot.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't avoid the sheriff's office in there unless you really get high.
Right. That's the goal.
All right. Let's talk about what can you do with the structure in the middle there.
I mean, this looks like a nice little creative piece because there's a lot that can be done on this. Where if you look at it from one angle, it looks like a nice rail that goes across the thing. Look at it from another angle, it looks like a wall ride where you can kind of go on an angle. And a different perspective would be this grind box. You can kind of see some of the blackening on the top where people are starting to get some slickness to it. So I mean, this is something that where it'll take someone's creative imagination to really explore. I mean, I think this piece would be the most endless piece for creativity in the skate park for sure.
So basically the feeling I get just talking to you about the fact that even though this is a small park, there's a lot of thought that went into creating what you would consider a very nice park to skate in.
Yeah, 100%. That's where I feel like it's so impressive to see this, because if, you know, this is technically considered a smaller park, but I've seen bigger parks that could cause more collisions and limit the imagination. Here, it looks like there's just been thought or props to whoever designed, you know, whoever engineered this skate park, because it's designed in the ways where I'm like, okay, you can get 4 lines going. This piece can be hit all different ways, where like they're definitely thinking about that when they're building it.
Well, I think the designers are going to be here on Saturday at the ribbon cutting, so I will make a note to make sure if I can't talk to them about it and tell them, hey, Jon Reyes liked your design and he thinks it's really creative for a small park setup.
Yeah, this is awesome.
All right, so we've talked about that. We've talked about the middle. You've talked about the pipe on the end here. All right, we got a pretty much a straight line running down, but in each one we've got a what would you call that?
I mean, I would say like a pool corner.
Pool
It's not really a whole pool, but when you look at pools, you got that corner where it's just really nice for kind of hitting it and getting speed. Let's say if you didn't want to go up this court and come down, you can kind of hit on an angle, go around, and still continue that flow and hit the next thing in the middle, which is really cool.
All right. We talked a little bit about how you started off when you were 14 and there really wasn't too many places you could go or they were super crowded. What's something like this park here in Pittsboro mean for the community and folks who are interested in either they're already skating or they're just thinking about doing it?
I mean, it's beyond the fact of the sport that you're going to do. I think it's a place where you can really grow. Your personality can grow, your characteristics, your confidence. And for me, to this day, everything that I am was designed in the community of a skate park. Like the way I communicate, the way I meet people, the way I conversate, the way I, you know, bump heads with people and have different opinions. Like growing up in New York was a very diverse place because everybody was either from a different part of the world, from using a different sport. So just being in a skate park is an awesome place to just to grow as a person, really. I mean, and then obviously you're going to learn to challenge yourself because it's going to be you versus you here, where it's like you don't have it's not a team sport. Team sports are awesome, but the unique, awesome thing about skate parks, especially this one, is that it's going to be you versus you the entire time, which I think is a battle that we'll always be involved in until the last day, which is really good. You grow heavy with that.
Any other outstanding features that you've noticed about the park? I think we've just about covered them all.
I think the first thing I think too is I like how there's some grass to the side, because if there's ever an event here in the future, a demo or a competition, I think there's a cool place where people can line up and watch and get the view, because most of the time you're either here on top, which would technically be in the way, behind a fence where you won't be able to see as much, but down there, I mean, this is a really cool view for if there's ever sponsors or parents want to keep an eye on the kid, you got that floor view for the entire park, which that was probably the first thing I noticed coming here.
All right, if I'm a spectator or a parent or someone watching, how far should I be standing away from there? Because I assume every once in a while somebody's maybe going to go off of the track over there.
Yeah, maybe like 10 feet. I think 10 feet's enough where if some skateboard rolls or scooter goes flying, you've got some clearance. So you have time to catch it or let not hit you.
All right, we were talking about the pipe here, and I guess this is one of the ways you just roll right up there and work from there?
Yeah, I mean, you're starting from the top, so it's always going to be the best to get speed. So if you wanted to come down here and kind of roll in, or you can jump in, you got this little quarter pipe guy right here, or you can start at the top and work your way toward the middle, but anything at the top is going to give you that good speed and run up.
All right, so what we're doing right now by walking around would not probably be a good idea if you got a bunch of riders out here, because it's possible we'd be in their way.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day too, people are going to be using cameras nowadays. I mean, if it wasn't for a camera, I wouldn't be professional, so you want to be able to film yourself, even if it's for yourself, to see what you did good or bad that day. So having a camera in the park, the people here still need to be respectful to people with the camera. People with the camera need to be respectful to people in the park. I think there's just this mutual agreement that you're going to have to follow for sure, which, bring the cameras, it's good for everybody.
When you say bring the cameras, you're talking about someone shooting a camera of an individual, or are you talking about somebody with a GoPro kind of camera?
Either one. I mean, either one. I think media right now, media is good media. Any media is good media for skate parks, because without that, this park probably wouldn't have been built.
Right.
I mean, if you didn't know that, hundreds of people want to come to this skate park, which that's the power of social media, then you wouldn't have built this.
Yeah, I was out here before it was opened up, and there were a couple of guys who actually drove over from Raleigh to check it out.
Right.
And yes, their first comment, it's kind of small, but they all like the design. They did not go into the degree of discussion that you and I have gone into, but they're like, this is neat for a community like Pittsboro.
I mean, they drove here from Raleigh. You can end the sentence right there. So there's a reason for that.
All right. Anything else we need to know?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see more happen here. I want to see some events. I mean, it'd be awesome to see the community grow here. To me, that's the most exciting thing.
All right. When you say events, what kind of events were we talking about?
I mean, coming from New York, it could literally be anything. I've seen scooter competition, skateboard competition, BMX. I've seen competitions where it involved all the sports. Just people coming here together, challenging themselves, maybe getting some sponsors, working with them, getting some prizes, and then that kind of motivates the community to kind of push themselves. It introduces more people from outside the community to come back in, to come in. So there's things with that where competitions are an awesome way to grow the community of the action sports.
All right, folks, so John, who's a professional scooter rider, just gave you a rundown of this quote-unquote small Pittsboro park that's got a whole bunch of potential. And it looks like a good start here for our skating community, scooter community.